Hey guys, Dr. Nichols, and we're gonna do 2 cents today. It's been a little bit. And today I am going to talk about the key to longevity. And yes, there is one, and that is called autophagy. So a lot of people are thinking, what is autophagy? Well, autophagy is essentially our body's way of getting rid of old stuff. Old cells, old debris, old bacteria, old damaged cells. And essentially it's an internal housekeeping process in the body that we do naturally. Unfortunately, as we age, the body's capabilities to do that decline. So that's why we have aging, and that's why we start to look old. Essentially, though, autophagy wasn't really recognized until 2016, when there was a scientist, and I cannot pronounce the name, it looks like it's Japanese or something, but I think it's a he, won the Nobel Prize for his discovery into how autophagy protects against diseases like Parkinson's disease, dementia, and it also has the potential to extend human lifespans. So, 2016 is actually, obviously really recent. So, like I talked about, autophagy decline, the body's process declines as we age, but there's simple things that we can do in our diet and our lifestyle that can actually stimulate autophagy, which can then decrease any, likelihood of different diseases and also help to prolong longevity. So one of those is intermittent fasting, and I do recommend this a lot with a lot of my patients, and so this is probably one of the best ways to induce autophagy. So it's not necessarily what you're eating, it's when you're eating it. So the intermittent fasting that I recommend patients is when we do the 16-8, which means fasting for 6 hours and eating within 8 hours. And the 8 hours is essentially up to the patient. So it could be, between noon and 8, it could be 10 to 6, it could be 9 to 5, but essentially you're eating all the food that you would eat in a day within, those 8 hours, and then the rest of the hours you are fasting. Essentially what happens is when the body's in a fasting state, it decreases the number of times that the pancreas secretes insulin. And this helps decline the blood sugar spiking, which then helps the body start burning stored fat for fuel, which is actually more efficient fuel burning. And essentially that can stimulate the autophagy. Intermittent fasting has a lot of other benefits as well. Weight loss is one of them, but also increased energy. It also helps with a lot of neurological conditions like, Alzheimer's, dementia, and other neurodegenerative diseases. So, like I said, I do a lot of intermittent fasting with my patients. I also recommend ketogenic diets to my patients, and this also helps induce autophagy as well. And essentially what a ketogenic diet does is it changes our body's utilization from essentially sugar, carbohydrates, to more of stored fat using stored fat for fuel. So instead of using glucose, we use fat, and essentially when we start liberating or utilizing fat within our fat stores, that will also increase energy to the brain. That is going to help satiate, because now that's putting fat calories into the bloodstream. And essentially that, shift of, burning fat instead of glucose also helps to increase autophagy. So yes, there is a key to longevity, and it is called autophagy. There are ways to get or help with autophagy, because that does decrease over time, and that's intermittent fasting and also looking at a ketogenic diet. So if you have any questions about, doing something like that, definitely reach out. But, I guess to longevity, do some intermittent fasting. That'll help you. All right, till next time, everybody. Take care.